And hi again, my name is Dylan Black. It's Friday. Welcome. Daytime Ottawa right here on Rogers TV. We have a busy, informative show as always. You know what? This weekend, over 80 junior curlers from across Canada are taking part in the Team Homan Junior Curling Camp. And she's going to be speaking to them about nutrition. Joining us right now, we say hello to registered dietitian Carol Harrison. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me, Dylan.
Good to have you here. Now, you've been doing this for quite some time.
Yeah, you know, parents and kids, they struggle with trying to make healthy eating happen when they're busy trying to fit in practices and games and get meals on the table and tournaments. So it's something I really enjoy doing, is making recipes and ideas that are something that people can actually put into practice.
Now, your website is the yummylunchclub.ca.
That's right.
What's your website all about?
Okay, so again, it's about planning and packing healthy lunches, but that could be food that you could bring on a tournament, say, for example, or lunch could always be a quick and easy dinner that you would take maybe out to a soccer field. Or this weekend, I'm speaking at the Think Beef Team Homan Curling Camp, so I'm going to be talking about all the foods that you could be bringing if you're going to a tournament for curling or practices or games, really how you can fuel up for fun.
Now, this camp sells out pretty quickly as well.
In 30 minutes.
Wow.
And no wonder, right? Because the women's curling team is ranked #1 in the world. Curling's a really popular sport, so it's a pretty exclusive camp for these kids. But it's the 4th year running, and so maybe people could look to sign up for next year.
Yeah, and because you're going to be there. Right?
Well, I will be talking about sports nutrition for kids, but I don't think they're coming for me, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but you do have your own curling shirt, so that's cool, or
Yes,
whatever they would call
they
that.
put my name on it and everything.
That's good. Are you a curler yourself?
I'm not a curler. I do lots of other sports, but you know, hey, there's lots of things I want to learn how to do, and curling's one of them.
Nice. Okay, now there's a few resources actually to find out about how to fuel active kids out there. Do you have one?
I do, because you know, all my kids were involved in a variety of sports, and I noticed there really wasn't a good resource that helped them to plan and meals and figure out what to eat before, during, after. What about hydration? So I wrote Fuel Up for Fun, and you can get a free copy at the thinkbeef.ca website, and it's packed with tips and ideas. I talk about hydration, protein, getting back to basics, like the good wholesome foods that families need to make sure that the kids are getting all the good nutrition that they need to grow and to be active.
And you brought some of those tasty foods here as well, and you want to talk about protein. Protein does a lot of good things for you.
Yes, it's important for repairing our muscles. We're constantly growing. Those kids are constantly growing, constantly making new tissues. Sometimes people think you only need protein maybe at one time of the day. You need it throughout the day, because we're always making hair and bones and teeth and muscles and organs. So we want to have protein for recovery as well.
Okay, where would you like to start there then with great examples?
Well, one of the things I'm going to talk to the kids about tonight is really getting back to basics. So I've got a plate just right here with these Moroccan meatballs, and what I'm trying to showcase here is how to build a healthy plate. So it's the Eat Well plate based on Canada's Food Guide. Half our plate should be vegetables and fruits, 1/4 grains like the pita bread here, and 1/4 protein. And these are some meatballs that are made with beef, and they're made with kidney beans. Very, very flavorful, because it's got these Moroccan spices in it, something that I think kids would really love to eat. So I'm going to talk to them about the importance of getting back to basics, because to be honest with you, 57% of the calories in children's diets, youth diets, come from ultra-processed foods, so fast foods, packaged foods. And so if they can simply make their plates like this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, already they're going to be out of the gate ahead of the pack.
And can I say as well, it smells good in here. I mean, these foods actually smell good, taste good.
Delicious,
I mean, there's no reason
wholesome,
to not eat them.
100%. These are all foods I would love to eat. I was just saying as we were getting set up, I'd love to have that for my lunch. That would be a great lunch.
Sure. Leave it behind if you could, because I'd love to have that too. Beans, obviously very important.
Yes, we get fiber from beans, we get folate from beans, we grow beans in Canada. And this is a really great demonstration here, because there's one part of the plate, the protein plate, that people get a little bit confused about. And so I'd like to talk about how protein density really matters. There's a lot of foods that provide protein, but they have different amounts of protein. So for example, here I've got 100 grams of sirloin, and that'll give you 35 grams of protein. Now, the comparison shows what would you have to eat to get the same amount of protein from that piece of steak. So that's one serving. So it would be about 2 cups of beans, like I've got here. It would also be about 1 3/4 cups of hummus, quite a bit. 3/4 cup of almonds, and actually 10 tablespoons of peanut butter. That's what's in this bowl here. So you can see it's filled a little bit more than half. That's an awful lot of food for one. So hard for kids that have got, you know, smaller tummies and are maybe couldn't eat that much food. And it doesn't mean that these foods are not wholesome, good, nutritious foods, but it's just highlighting what foods have really rich sources of protein. Animal foods in general, plant sources have protein, but in smaller amounts. So that's really good for them to keep in mind.
So beef is the way to go then for protein.
Well, animal foods, I would say animal foods for sure, they're richer sources of protein, but it's important to have a mix because like we had mentioned, the fiber you're going to get from beans, you're not going to get that from beef. Well, beef has got vitamin B12, you're not going to get that from plant foods. The peanut butter's got some healthy fats and antioxidants, so you really want to have a mix. I don't have eggs here, that's another source of protein, and fish. Every protein food has a different package of nutrients. It's really important for health.
Tonight you're serving up chili. We have just over a minute left here, so
okay.
I want to make sure we get to that chili because that looks good.
It does.
Well.
It looks really, really good. Do you think you want to try some?
Yes.
Okay.
The answer is always yes, by the way.
Yeah, and this is a Think Beef Team Homan mug here. So that's a black bean chili, and you can get the recipe at thinkbeef.ca. It combines beef and beans, so it's a great example of food synergy. This is really interesting. When you add beef, you're going to increase the absorption of the iron by 150%. It is so delicious.
That is
Pack
so
it in a thermos, take it to the arena, put a sock on the thermos to keep it warm. You can freeze it, use up the extra veggies you have on hand. Kids love it. Get the kids to help make you the chili. It's just an example of one of the recipes that I've got in the resource. Fuel Up for Fun, and again, people can get it at thinkbeef.ca.
You know, I don't know if I've ever seen a sock wrapped around a thermos before.
That's a unique idea. This is just something new that was shared with me recently. It's going to keep it warmer longer. And who doesn't have an unmatched sock? I mean, really, right?
There's always unmatched socks laying around somewhere. And of course, as you said, resources, thinkbeef.ca. But not to be outdone, yummylunchclub.ca is a good resource as well to go
Yes,
to.
there's lots of tips and practical ideas there. I really try to keep it simple for people. So I talk about healthy convenience, like making the chili. It's just basically a few cans of different things, some ground beef, and you got a great meal.
Carol, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
What a great way to kick off the show. More Daytime coming up.